Hello, trading is closed on July 28th, 2022. Start with our disclaimer, go over our calls, and then make some predictions. It's my trading plan for tomorrow, July 29th, 2022. Remember, I can be completely wrong, and any trade you make should be at your own risk. Look for the pattern with the early low. This is it. Tomorrow should also have the early low. We had an ultimate target 39.6182. There's no time limit on it. I said a drop was plausible, but I couldn't say it was required. And if we went significantly higher, I was going to have to reassess all my wave counts. Well, we went significantly higher, so I'm going to have to reassess all my wave counts. We have a new target pretty far away from today's patterns, 4,941. Unless we get up smartly, the rules call for it to print, but futures are up smartly as I'm recording this, and unless something miraculous happens, it'll probably fail. This is one of my favorite. Well, let's first start out by saying we had a buy signal in the afternoon, and that's already played out. It's somewhat negative that the close was under the midday highs, but futures are already way over it. Then it's tomorrow's open that counts, not today's close. This is one of my favorite patterns in the morning, when all three bars in yellow have their closes within this range. Almost always you're going to go nowhere in the morning. And if you do go somewhere, it's going to retrace before the day's out. Nothing works every time, but this is highly reliable. And when it fails, you have to consider the possibility something else is going on. Well, this is my long-term count. I'm waiting for wave green C, and I want it to have some kind of relationship to green A. One ratio I never considered much was the 78.6. Usually these A and C waves have a 1-to-1 ratio. It's a perfectly valid fib number, but not the most common one. And besides, if that worked, the low would have been at 36.6150, and it was actually at 36.87. Now, 24 and a fraction points probably isn't that much. In the scheme of things, it's less than 1%, but I like things to be a little bit closer. Don't always get what I like. Let's look at some other things. One, this is a different count. You had to reassess it. One trick somebody showed me a number of years ago was to take the first decline, set it at 23.6%, and then measure 100% from the next major high. Well, that actually comes within 1 point. It comes to 36.35.69, and the low is 36.36.87. Now it's possible to count this structure, which I'm calling gray A, as 5 waves. It's possible to call this gray C as 5 waves. Measure from the truncated fifth. That's the same. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, doesn't mean it's the right count. I always say these aren't the only valid counts, but it's a count that works. And if you look at what's gray B, you have an A, a B, and a C for B, and they all work. Doesn't mean it's right, but at least you could say if we do stop here, there is a count, not the one I prefer, but there is a count that works. Let's see what's happened since then. And let's remember, this is what an impulse looks like. It doesn't retrace much. This thing has been backing and filling and retracing all the way. At some point, moves that back and fill retrace completely. So at some point, whether it's from here or not, we're going to go up. Let's look at what's happened since the June low. You remember in June we had some sentiment readings which occur only at major lows. Well, you can count 5 waves up for 1. Here's an ABC with C equal to A for 2. Here's 5 waves up. Here's an ABC with C equal to A. This one truncates 2. I mean, I don't know if this is the right count or not, but if it is, we're in a third wave of multiple degree that could take us much higher. Now this count could still be invalidated. I'm not saying it's the only count, but if we keep going up like this, I don't think I want to fight it. If we were over here, I'd want to see some relationship between this wave and this wave, and it's just not there, not that I can see. Well, tomorrow's pattern has the early low. It could still gap up. There's a lower target. Unless we gap up smartly, the rules call for it to print. Futures already are up sharply, so there's a good chance it won't print. In June, there were sentiment readings which were typical of major market lows. Since then, there's been a huge, dramatic improvement in market breadth. My preferred count for this move is an impulse higher, which hasn't completed yet. Bull markets are not supposed to start from as far under the 200-day moving average as you were last month. However, it's possible we made the low last month. So if that's right, we don't know that yet, but if that's right, we could have a very strong rally from here in a wave 1, retrace most of it in wave 2, and then begin a strong wave 3 higher, probably before the year's out. This is not the only valid interpretation, but the decline has been overlapping and corrective, must retrace at some point, whether or not that point was last month's low. So how high could this go? Well, I have all these targets, and that's too many. You'll recall that last year we had 7 targets at the end of the year. I said they should all print, and they did. This is 8. At some point, that's too many. At some point, we're going to retrace through these numbers. So we have a target here, which probably isn't going to print. I'm not convinced we're going to go straight up. What I'd like to see is a strong rally from here in the third wave, multiple degree, probably retrace all of it over the summer. But I think we'll make a low before the year's out if we haven't made it already. And as far as tomorrow's concerned, I don't have a call specifically for tomorrow. With futures up here, as long as that holds, which we don't know, but as long as it holds, it's hard for me to count this as complete. I mean, this looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but we keep going up, and it's just not the only way to count it. This could be just this could be all 5 waves in wave 1, you don't know. But this is a major improvement in breadth. It's rejecting a lot of bearish indicators which usually work. It started from a point of extreme pessimism. We've left a lot of higher targets behind. And while it's not impossible that this is a false move, I think the odds are we're going higher regardless of what happens tomorrow. I do think we'll retrace most of it later, but I don't have to worry about that now. And that's today's call.